Just a couple bad weather fans representing New York, talking all things sports. Man, what could go wrong? We got Alex, who's a fan of the Knicks, and Mike of the Nets. The yin-yang of the tri-state, place your bets on the Yankees, Giants, Mets, or Jets. Yeah, you should listen if they're sparking your interest. If you made a vow to your team, don't break it. Bad weather fans is the relation.
That's right. This is Bad Weather Fans, episode number 103. Mike Biseglia, Alex Benesowitz, and it's an NBA trade, Nets and Knicks trade, NBA deadline special extravaganza. The Nets suck. The Knicks suck. The Nets made a lot of trades today. The Knicks did absolutely dog shit. And holy cow, there is a lot to unpack. The Nets, if you're listening to this, we're recording this at 6:21 Eastern time. So if you're a Knicks fan or a Nets fan and you're listening to this, this is before the games. This is strictly about the trades. Obviously, both teams need wins, but the importance is coming down to these deals. So, Alex, how are you?
Mike, not doing too well, man. That was pretty shitty day. I got to be honest. With the trades and some other things, but the trades was pretty bad, man. That was pretty bad. It was a really dark day in Knicks history. It was today, and I know like we're recording this before the Knicks Warriors game at 10 o'clock, 10:15 Eastern time. If you're gonna stay up and watch that game with no RJ Barrett, God bless you, but I am sure as hell I'm not. I'll tell you that, to be honest. Like I know, I watch every game. I try to watch every game. I watch as much as every game as I possibly can. But tonight I'm going to bed. I'm just no interest. Knicks sucked the joy out of me today, and especially a 10 p.m. game, no chance.
I will say, for all y'all football fans out there, DraftKings Sportsbook is officially live in New York State, and they are the sponsor of Bad Weather Fans. So with mobile sports betting just in time for football playoffs, right now you can place a bet from anywhere in New York with DraftKings Sportsbook, including from the comfort of your couch, where you can keep Woj on alerts. To the excitement, DraftKings is giving new customers a special offer that you don't want to miss. Bet just $5 on any playoff game, and we know we got one big one coming up, and win $280 in free bets. That's right. If your team is victorious. The wait is finally over. Head to DraftKings Sportsbook app. We've included that in our show notes if you want to check it out. Super easy. Just go to the show notes if you're watching on YouTube, or if this is through whichever app you're listening to for the podcast, go on over and check that out. You can combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. We know Alex is rooting hard for the Rams. So download DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code BWF, which stands for Bad Weather Fans, which are in a bad, weird mood today, and get 56-1 odds on any team. Bet just $5 to win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's promo code BWF this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full details. Must be 21 plus and physically present in NY. Gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. Alex,
Great job.
Thank you. I'm very talented. The Nets made a trade today. We'll start with that. They dealt James Harden to the Philadelphia 76ers. I have not talked about this with anybody yet. Twitter was an explosion. My phone blew up, and I didn't want to talk. I had people call me and say, I need to talk Nets because you're one of the 7 fucking idiots that actually knows what they're talking about with this. I got to talk Nets. So if you don't know the deal by now, they traded James Harden to the Philadelphia 76ers. In return, they got Seth Curry, Drummond, Ben Simmons, and they got a center as well. Yeah, Ben Simmons. And who's the center they got, Alex? What's his name? Andre Drummond.
One of my favorites.
And then they got the Sixers pick and some other weird.
Two of them. They got 2 picks, 2 Sixers picks, and Simmons, Curry, and Drummond for Harden and Millsap.
Right. Millsap hasn't played. I mean, that's whatever.
So
of course they'll be good on the Sixers.
Of course, they got 2 of the 8 picks back that they gave up for Harden. Your thoughts?
I mean, I'm relieved. I'm really happy it happened. I mean, it's enough already.
I feel you.
It's a weird circumstance because it's like, okay, I get it. The initial trade, they got Harden, they gave up a lot of assets, and here we are now. And it was so good last year, and it was so cohesive, and everything really worked great. But they were at a point now with him quitting and giving up. They had no choice. They had to do it. They had to make a deal. And I don't know if it's the all-time return for James Harden, but it's good enough for them now, or at least I feel like they've got a little roster depth. I feel solid about that. And more of it's just kind of rage and anger at what happened with James Harden, that he quit on the team, that he really just gave up. And he said, I don't want to be involved in this. I know Kyrie Irving was the catalyst for this because he's a part-time player and it pissed him off and he didn't want to deal with it anymore. And he quit on the Nets. And from that standpoint, the Nets had no choice. They had to make a trade. They had to get players back. And they've got a center now that can rebound, who doesn't do much else and people get frustrated with. And they've got a very good player in Seth Curry, who I think is a nice fit for them. I think he makes a lot of obvious sense. Don't need to go into detail why. Of course, with the injury to Joe Harris, that makes a difference as well. Ben Simmons, a wild card on all of this. How he fits in, who the hell knows? I'm going to make a point that I've been making for weeks, that it's all about if Kyrie comes back, then they're in the discussion again. If he's not, that's a different story. But I'm just really torn because I'm not one of those people that's, I wasn't you've heard me, Alex. I wasn't fucking, scary hours is coming. Oh, this is coming. I wasn't that guy. I was the guy that was like, I believe when they're together, they're unstoppable and unbeatable.
You were a little cocky.
Of course. But if you get those three, with those three guys together, they never, they didn't lose. Those three guys together were unbeatable.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
It doesn't mean the Nets can't win a championship. Nothing from today has changed for that. Just because they lost James Harden. And you and I will have a different perspective on James because he's been garbage this season. He hasn't been good. And he'll turn it up in Philly. He will. But
of course,
deep down inside, I know he will fuck up. There is no way I could, in my heart, in my soul, I think James Harden and the Sixers cannot put it all together. And I know we made Philly better today, but we also did something for the Nets that just had to get done. It got so sour and bad. James Harden was such a shit show here and didn't want to play. The only time he came out on the court for the last couple of days was because he had an Adidas ad. He dogged it against the Kings. He dogged it. He didn't care. He's gone. He was done with the Nets. And now let's take on another superstar that doesn't give two shits. And hopefully he's ready to go. And that's where we are, Alex.
Yeah, you got rid of one guy who quit for another guy who quit. And let's see who's the better quitter and who really quit and who really just hated their team. And we'll see what happens. I mean, it was a weird situation because, usually you have one team that has all the leverage and one team that doesn't, and then the other one has to cave. In this situation, both teams had no leverage. Both teams had to get rid of their guy, and it was bizarre. And it's crazy with Harden. It's like, how did we get here? How did we get here? I can't even blame him in a way also because he's at the back end of his prime. He came to Brooklyn because he wants to win. He wants to steal a title, get a title on his resume, go to the Hall of Fame, skate out of the NBA, get his money, go to strip clubs and enjoy the rest of his life. And he came here and he had to deal with the pandemic. He had to deal with Kyrie not getting vaccinated. He has to deal with Durant always getting hurt. He has to deal with him getting hurt in the playoffs. It just wasn't the traveling road show of what the Heatles were with Bosh, LeBron, and Wade. You know what I mean? That ever since that, every big three that's been made after that, even LeBron, Love, and Kyrie, it wasn't that. Everybody's been striving for that. Whereas four straight Eastern Conference championships, skate into the finals and take your chances when you get there. So it wasn't easy, and he's just like, I didn't sign up for this shit. Get me out of here. And honestly, a little bit of you got to understand. A little bit of you has to understand where he's coming from, because with Kyrie, who pretty much torpedoed this franchise, without getting the shot, and that's his belief, and that's fine. But what he's doing is affecting everybody. It's a trickle down effect to the entire NBA, the entire Nets organization, everybody who works there, everybody put their blood, sweat, and tears in this organization to building it to what the franchise is today. Kyrie is torpedoing that by not getting vaccinated, and that's his choice. And that there's nothing wrong with that. But there's consequences for your actions, and the consequences don't come down on him. He's still getting paid millions of dollars. He gets to play half the games, and we'll see what happens if the vaccine mandate gets lifted. I mean, things are progressing in that way, as it seems. I mean, I don't think it'll happen before the end of the season, but maybe by next year. At first we didn't think that would happen, but it might. But at the same time, it's just, you're very happy right now because you had to get rid of Harden. That's great. But you fast forward to the playoffs and Ben Simmons is scared to take a 10-foot jump shot. I think you're going to be a little different. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is the guy we got. Yeah. What the hell are we doing?
Well, two parts to that. I would say to say he torpedoed them, I think would be strong. I think he definitely impacted it and made a huge problem for them. And definitely,
do you think Harden demands a trade if Kyrie's playing every game?
No, he doesn't. But I also have to put a little. But I also have to put a little bit. I don't think it's as fair to say, well, James Harden, oh, poor you're making $50 million, and because fucking Kyrie Irving decided he didn't want to play, I'm going to be a little bitch and not try.
It's not about the money with him.
I get
he
that,
wants
but
the title, yeah.
But did Kyrie put the Nets in a bad place? Yes. But did James Harden be a good teammate and adjust to it and say, you know what, fuck it. I know he's gone. I know Durant's hurt right now, but I'm going to be a leader. No, he quit. He quit on that
for that shit, though.
I don't care
for that.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, I had enough of this crap. Like, Durant's not even here. This is Kyrie. Got to deal with this crap. I'm out of here,
dude. And from that attitude, I'm happy he's gone because that's not the kind of person that I want to see lead a team. That's not a
Ben
leader.
Simmons. You want a guy who quit on his team, and because a coach criticized him, you want that?
But it stems from Durant, and Simmons is going to come in here and be a model citizen behind Durant. He will
until he gets criticized by somebody on WFAN or something.
The good news is no one gives a shit about the Nets here. So I've been told for fucking 3 years no one cares about the Nets. So Ben Simmons will be fine because Sixers fans so much greater than New York fans, Knicks included. They're so difficult to play in Philly. I can't buy that. I can't buy that for a second. I can't. I get you. It stems from Kyrie. It definitely does. But Harden could still be a mensch and fucking tough it out for a month because Durant's coming back. They're going to be whole again. It's not like he quit. He quit in a tough moment. He did. And you can say you can't blame him. This got bad. Shit got tough. And he said, I don't want to be here anymore. And I'm sorry. That's pathetic. That is. I mean,
if he's 5 years younger, he's not quitting. 5 years younger, he's not doing that. I just don't see that happening. That's what I'm saying. What is he, 32? I mean,
32 years old.
Yeah.
Good riddance then for that. Like,
he's ready to win a title right now.
But he still can.
Well, ask Embiid about Ben Simmons. Ask Embiid a question about Ben Simmons.
Oh, I get.
What does he think about him?
A change of scenery.
What does Philly think about him? What does Doc Rivers think about him? Respected people in the NBA.
Of course not. Of course not.
They're throwing a parade that they got James Harden in Philly. They're throwing a parade because they know they're gonna get real Harden for 3 months, and that's all they need him for. Mm-hmm. And let's see what happens.
I pray to the good gods that I want them now in the playoffs. And you can cut this audio and say, "Oh, you wait for it. We'll see." I want these guys in the playoffs. I want the challenge, and I want to see what the Nets can do with it because I'm fired up from this. Like, I feel a sense of relief now for the first time in fucking 4 weeks. I'm excited to watch the Nets play tonight. When granted, it's against the Wizards, who are just as depleted as the Nets. Which, thank the good gods that Dinwiddie was traded for Porzingis today because they have nobody that can play basketball.
Yeah. It's crazy but to touch on the Porzingis thing, I can't even be excited. Like, it's funny because I had to do my updates on a few people, when the Porzingis thing happened, because the amount of shit that the Knicks got for Porzingis, I had to give it back a little bit, but it just, the way the Knicks are, I don't know if you want to transition into this yet, if you still have more to talk about the Nets to go into the Knicks stuff, but the way the Knicks are, I couldn't even get as excited about Porzingis getting traded to the Nets being like a mess because the Knicks are such a shit show. But continue finish up your Nets stuff. Then we'll go with that.
I mean, the Knicks. I mean, I'll be clearly, I'm really happy they suck. It's been really nice to see, and it's been refreshing to see them lose all the time and lose some heartbreaking games. And then after you lose heartbreaking games, you get blown out. The Nets did need depth, so I will say that helps. They from a roster construction point, they have shooters, Mills, Curry, and if Joe Harris ever came back, those are 3 premier shooting.
Yeah, and they'll get buyout
Premier.
guys. They'll get buyout guys. Somebody's going to get bought out, and they'll get somebody. The Nets
I
are the
don't-
kind of team that'll get guys.
But
I don't know.
who are they going to buy out now too? Because they were at 16 players. They had to cut DeAndre Bembry, which shows from their end that they wanted to be cheap because he was the easiest buyout. He was one of the few guys that was playing well. Just a
Maybe
weird.
Eric Gordon gets bought out. I don't know. We talked about him on the podcast a couple
Yeah.
episodes ago. Maybe he gets bought out. Somebody like that. I don't know, but I don't know if
just a
that'll
weird
happen.
time. Just
The
a
Nets are
weird
the type
time.
of team that'll get somebody. It is. It's such a weird. This is such a weird season. Nobody saw this shit coming, man.
I can't believe James Harden's a Sixer. What happened?
How did we get here?
But the Nets are 13-3. When they, it's like, how is he a Sixer? I'm going to see James Harden as a Sixer. I can't wrap my head around it. It's mind blowing. Oh my God, it's so
it's crazy, man. It's crazy. The NBA is nuts, man. This is why we love the NBA though, because it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Man,
I don't like this coach. Trade me. I don't like this guy. Trade me. I don't like what he said about me on the media. Trade me. Like it's like what the hell? And then everybody's lies.
Just
like poor Seth Curry is hanging out in Philly and now he's in Brooklyn and they didn't even do anything. It's just like, well, Harden wanted to be traded, so you got to move your whole family over to Brooklyn.
Dude,
how
how
about
about
at least it's not a big move.
The Joe Ingles trade from the Jazz?
Ingles, yeah.
Ingles, I mean, when he's
he's sad. He was like upset. Yeah, he like tweeted something out, right? Like he was like really upset about leaving, and he's like gave a shout out to his boys and Utah, I'm rooting for you, something like that.
This is Evan Roberts of WFAN. He's an afternoon host, if you don't know that, but he just called that a question. But I did get it's allowed. He said he was cool. Do you have a comment about the Nets trade today?
Listen, man, it had to happen. It sucks. It sucks that it came to this. It sucks that a little after a year after making this trade with all the promise and the hope, it sucks that we had to do it. But this guy quit on us. This guy quit on our team. And now we have to hope for the best. We have to hope that Ben Simmons isn't a complete head case. And we really got to hope that Kyrie Irving is eligible for every game and that Kevin Durant gets healthy. But to me, it was a very bittersweet kind of day.
You're very good at this.
Very good at what?
Talking sports. You're good at this. Like
you should have a career in this.
Yeah, I'm like I thought I was making good net points, and then you came on, and I feel really bad about what I just said. Like it wasn't good enough.
What were your points that weren't as good as what I just said?
Oh, I'm just joking. I don't know.
We want to know how did we get here? That's the main thing.
Yeah,
how did we get here?
We just got. I don't know if you can hear, like, but we just got to this point. Like, how do we get here? And it just kind of got like, this is insane. Like James Harden is a Sixer, and how the fuck did this all just happen?
Dude, it's mine now. Now let's be fair about something. Without blaming it all on him, we do have to acknowledge that Kyrie Irving not being vaccinated.
Thank you.
And New York City having the laws that they had absolutely began this process. There's no freaking doubt about it that if Kyrie Irving was either vaccinated or the rules in New York City were different, I'm not sure we get to this moment today. But this began the whole thing, the whole slide down of James Harden's relationship with the Brooklyn Nets, no doubt.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Evan, we're going to talk about the Knicks now.
Oh, great. Enjoy talking about our ping pong team. Enjoy those losers.
All right, see you later.
Thanks, Evan.
All right, little live insert there. Okay, so from there, let's transition to the Knicks. I know you were really pissed. Nothing happened today. The floor is yours for that.
Where do I begin? We start off the season getting excited that with this team could be legit with Kemba Walker. He's not the guy, whatever, right? You hover around 500. I stay positive. We're good. Okay, fine. You're only one winning streak away from being in the top of the Eastern Conference or just the top 5 seeds, right? In the Eastern Conference for most of the season. Then all of a sudden you fall apart. And then you dream about, maybe we'll get De'Aaron Fox. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll get De'Aaron Fox. And then all of a sudden Halliburton gets traded for Sabonis. And you're just like, how are you not in on that? And then there's crickets from the front office. I'm not one who I need to hear from the GM or the president all the time, or even care if they talk in the offseason. But there are certain moments in time that the executives need to speak to the media, to the fans. Talk to me. Tell me what the hell happened, because I don't want to hear a press release or read a press release. I don't want to hear some BS. I want to know what happened. How do you do nothing? How do you do nothing? How do you not get rid of Alec Burks? Okay. Alex B is not happy with Alec B. Okay. How do you not get rid of him? How do you not move him for something? Somebody out there would have taken him for a 2nd round pick. Okay. Don't tell me that nobody would take Alec Burks. Okay. He's a valuable guy. He's not a James Harden, but he's a valuable piece in the NBA. Somebody would take him. Somebody would take, I don't know if somebody would take Fournier or Kemba or maybe somebody would take Noel. How do you not shed somebody? How do you not do something? And then you're going to roll out a starting lineup tonight, of course, of like Todd. It's not Taj Gibson, but you know what I mean? You're going to get all these guys that are going to play all these minutes, Fournier and Kemba and no RJ Barrett. Maybe you'll start Grimes and whoop-de-doo. Grimes will play. And then there's no RJ Barrett. This team is dead. They're dead in the water, man. They are dead in the water. And if you think if Knick fans are going to stay up until 10:15 start time to watch the Warriors beat the crap out of them with no RJ Barrett, you're out of your mind. What they just did is torpedoed this entire season. They punted on this season. And if you expect me to put my all into watching this team now, you are out of your mind. Right now, I'll watch them. I'll pay attention to them. I'll do, we'll still do this podcast. I love doing it, whatever. But guess what? I'm more excited about the Super Bowl this Sunday than I am about any Knick game the rest of this season. I'm more excited about hearing what happens with labor negotiations with Rob Manfred and the MLB players to see the Mets and Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom could come on the mound and freaking maybe win a championship in New York for one of my teams. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Why the hell am I going to give a damn about watching Julius Randle throw a laptop in an assistant coach's face? Do you think I'm going to put up with that crap the rest of the season? Who cares? Like, who cares? Fire everyone. This was like a fireable offense to not do anything. I'm asking for anything. I'm asking for a second round pick. I'm asking for punt on to punt on the season and not do anything is absolutely absurd. And then there's people saying, oh, maybe they'll get a buyout. What buyout candidate is going to want to come to the fucking Knicks when they're the 12th seed? They're not going to come to the Knicks. They're going to come to the Nets. They're going to go to the Sixers. They're going to go to the Bucks. They're going to go to the Heat. They're not going to come to the fucking Knicks. Like, what are you, crazy? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? How did we get back here? Let's keep the theme. How did we get here, Mike? How did we get here?
I don't know, dude. It's frustrating because when the season started, there was so much promise for the Knicks. There's still promise for the Nets. There's still a possibility for the Nets.
They're still there. They're still there. They can
it's
sneak
not
a
good.
couple rounds of wins. They can win a few series and maybe get into the conference finals and put some pressure on someone.
It's in a bad place. But Kyrie, things change. Something happens, or maybe the system. Maybe this works. Maybe they get healthy and the Simmons, Drummond. They've got players. But from where we started with scared hours and with the Knicks coming off a 4 seed,
fucking dancing in the streets after winning the opening game against the garbage Celtics. Like, you know what I mean? Remember how we came on the air? We're like, all right, you won a game. But they're not that great. And then you win that game and they're dancing in the streets after winning the opening game, doing bing bong and all this stupid shit. And we're talking, we're like, all right, you're excited. You won. Okay, great. But yeah, it's a regular season game. Let's relax. I understand the playoff game, but it was exciting. Yeah. But like right now, like calm down. And you're dancing after a Sixers win in Philly when they didn't have anybody. What are we doing? This is embarrassing. And now we're here. And I was able to relax because we were around 500, but now we've like sunk like I don't even know what, like the Titanic in the standings. And it's like, how can you look at this as Leon Rose or Worldwide West or Perry or anybody? How do you look at this? Or James Dolan? How do you look at this and say, you know what? We're good. We're happy with the team that we have. Let's roll out Alec Burks. Let's say quickly can't play point guard. Let's not even try to let him learn how to play point guard. Let's start a shooting guard at point guard, and then wonder why nobody runs the offense while Julius Randle doesn't know what he's doing. Like it's mind-numbingly dumb. Yeah. And Thibs needs to go. Leon Rose needs to go. I'm done. Like they're gonna come in with this weird ass offseason again and tell like, give me this. Oh, we're gonna get the 9th pick in the draft, fumble the bag again with Kevin Knox or Frank Ntilikina type of player, and then Michael Sweetney or something like that. And then what are we doing here? We're gonna keep doing the same crap. You can't be in purgatory in the NBA. This is where they are now, and it's nothing. It's a nothing team. I'd rather be tanking, and I don't want to do that anymore. You have to move the team forward. Like somebody asked a question the other day on Twitter to me at Knick Central, you at Mike Delivers Pod. Would you trade Mitchell Robinson for the Pistons draft pick? And I said no, because I want to move the team forward. Not that obviously that trade would never happen, et cetera, but this is not a Zion draft. This is not a LeBron draft. I don't want to do that. I want to take Mitchell Robinson. If I'm going to trade him, I want to trade him and get a real star as part of a package. I want to keep him and be our defensive center, because you trade him for a draft pick, you're punting on the next 3-4 years to pick a guy that might not even be good in 3-4 years. And then you waste RJ Barrett. And what the hell are we doing? Then you're kicking the can down the road. Well, I'm just so tired of this shit, Mike. understand this anymore.
I'd push
I thought
back.
we were done with this stuff. I thought we were done.
I'd push back on the Mitchell Robinson thing, because what if you traded him for a guy and he was an absolute stud, and then you paired him with RJ?
When does that happen?
Well,
That's
I
not
know
going to
that
happen. It's not going to happen.
Well, because you're the Knicks, but it happens. Teams actually
Sure.
make good draft picks, and they get top 4 picks, and it turns out to change their franchise. I don't think Mitch Robinson's a franchise changer, and I'm not going to go down this road. But I don't, if you had
he's a dynamic young defensive center, you're going to need somebody like that.
But
if you get rid of him, so you get rid of him, you're making a hole by you're creating a hole by like filling a hole. It's
if you have a top
sense.
If you have a top 3 pick, you have a guy that could transcend and change. You have a chance. Mitch Robinson's not giving you that. I like him. I think he's a good piece on the team. But if you're going to say that, like, if they're going to be shit anyway and not win, I at least take that. Whatever. We're not going.
But then we're tanking. Then we're just trade everybody.
But what if that guy's great?
But I don't want to do that anymore.
But that's how
we were
teams
just
get
good
good
last year.
But that's
they're
how
better
teams
on
get
paper than what
good.
this team is. They needed to fucking do something, and they didn't. I'm so tired of this stuff. Oh, well, you know what? It's next year. Let's get the draft, and maybe, maybe we'll get a guy. Maybe get a 17-year-old kid, and maybe he'll change the franchise. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? We have RJ Barrett. He looks like a star. Let's not waste him. Let's give him players to be successful. Let's give him a coach that knows what the fuck he's doing. Stop with these system coaches. Stop with these system coaches.
He's still a baby though, and I maybe I'm gonna give good Knicks energy here.
Because man. I don't want to hear good Knicks
because
energy.
I think maybe even though this season's a disaster, maybe RJ Barrett actually becoming good means more than the rest of it. Because the rest of the guys on the roster, whatever, in the long run, they're not going to be. If the Knicks win a championship, who's going to be here? It's going to be RJ Barrett and nobody else. Maybe Mitch Robinson, but that's it. Yeah. There's nobody else. If the Knicks ever got to a championship level, there's no one there.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what Grimes is.
Maybe
what he can develop into. We'll see what these people. Cam Reddish can't see the floor, man. Like, what are we doing?
I like that too. I had a Cam tweet, and someone came back at me like disputing it, and I was like, I'm not talking about Cam Reddish. I'm talking about Cam Thomas. Don't ever think I'm a Knicks fan. For the love of fuck, don't ever go there with me. Please don't do that. Don't ever put me in that. I was like, don't do that with me. Yeah, I'm surprised Reddish doesn't play. You know what? I'm not surprised he doesn't play. Of course he's not going to play. It's what bad decision making does, and it's what we forget to just how real people are and the egos of people and the infighting. I mean, like we see it here with James Harden. The writing was on the wall when he had made comments, clips. He was frustrated, and then boom, it blew up, the Sacramento thing. And good luck in Philly. I hope your hamstring gets better in the next week. Same thing.
Definitely better already.
Same thing with Thibs. Same thing with Thibs. He didn't want the trade, and he's punishing management.
But that's absurd to fire the fucking guy.
But that's
you can't
real.
have a coach that's insubordinate. That's an insubordinate employee. You don't keep insubordinate employees.
It's reality, though. It's reality with when
insane.
Things are. It's reality with dysfunction.
It's a clusterfuck. It's a clusterfuck.
The culture Knicks are done. The culture Knicks are done. Bing bong, they're dead.
Bing bong to ping pong, right? And that's what happened.
And I started that.
But thank God, we're going to play Taj Gibson more minutes than Jericho Simpson. Thank God. I can't wait to watch that at 11:30 at night when they're losing by 30 to see Jericho Simpson come. I'm not going to do it to myself, man.
Well, at least you don't have to watch.
What are we doing? What are we doing,
Watch
man?
the Nets. Watch the Nets.
Oh, maybe Derrick Rose will come back with 10 games left and they'll go 6-4. Like, oh, great.
Watch the Nets tonight, Alex.
And we'll ruin our draft pick selection because Derrick Rose came back and they won a few games at the end of the year. You know what I mean? It's just like, what are we doing?
What a shitty season. If I said the Knicks were going to be like,
sorry for yelling. I'm sorry for yelling.
That's okay.
I'm sure my wife is not enjoying me yelling.
No, you sports turn me on when you yell. See, I have these fucking headphones where I can't hear anything. Like, yeah, it's probably. It's really loud. These things take the life out of me. So I don't know how. Your headphones are probably very, very cool, but I don't know if they have the same kind of effect.
Yeah, I have my AirPods for some reason don't connect to my laptop anymore. I have to restart it, and it was a pain in the ass. So I just got my old UR Beats headphones, and they're really good. These earbuds are amazing. You don't hear anything. I used to wear them in the city everywhere. I wouldn't hear the subway. I wouldn't hear anything. And you get these earbuds, and they're great. And the AirBuds, whatever they call them, the iPod Air, whatever the fuck.
That was a movie with a dog.
Airbud,
that was a basketball player.
Basketball player. Knicks could use them, man. That's for sure. And and you know what? These are way better, soundproof better. Anyway, who cares? The bottom line is
nobody.
Get rid of Thibs. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. It's enough. If he's gonna keep playing all these guys, get him out of here. Because we didn't trade Kevin Knox for Kevin Knox South. Like, you know what I mean? What are we doing?
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? You should be starting. If we're done, if you want me to be remotely or any fans to be remotely interested in this team the rest of the season, starting lineup needs to be Deuce McBride, Grimes, RJ, Randall, and Mitch. And that's it. Even get Randall the hell out of here. I don't even care. Don't even start Randall. Just don't even do it. Just play everybody who is under 25 years old. And then let's go. I know you can't do that, but like, play like what, like this is where you are. This is what you did by punting on the season. You made it this, Leon Rose. You made it this. And don't tell me that buyouts are coming because nobody's going to sign with the Knicks. You think Eric Gordon is going to leave the Rockets and then sign with the Knicks?
It's
like, what are you kidding?
No,
I've never heard of a 5-game improvement.
I've never heard of a buyout player that goes from lottery team to lottery team.
Never. That's the point.
That's like a like, so it's
doing a veteran a favor. Here, get out of here. Go to a playoff team and have fun. Right. A couple months. Right.
Which we all have our. Oh, it's not fair. We can have that conversation. Then
right. But a veteran's not going to give up. A veteran's not going to give up $20 million to sign with the Knicks.
No,
you know what I mean? Or $10 million, whatever the negotiation is. Dude. You're always taking less money to get out of your contract, right? Yeah. That's the point of the buyout. So you can make it up on the other team, but you can also win and whatever. But it's just nobody's doing that for the Knicks, man.
I'm so
it's over. It's over. The season's over, and we didn't even get to Valentine's Day yet. Happy Valentine's Day to you, by the way.
Oh, my Valentine's Day already happened. My Valentine's Day is National Pizza Day. That's when I celebrate. A lot of pizza and sex.
Oh, man.
If I said that the Knicks were going to be 4 or 5 games behind the Nets in mid-February, you would have said,
let's go. I would have been like, all right, I'll take that. Yeah. Let's go. I'd be happy.
And then if I said the Nets were the 8 seed, James Harden was on the Sixers, and they were on a 9-game losing streak, you would have said,
oh my, yeah, you're out of your mind. And if I would have told you that Thibs would have went from coach of the year to being fired soon, you would have been like, you're crazy. You can't fire the coach of the year. Like people are saying, you can't. Who cares what the fucking coach of the year is? The guy is losing the team. The team stinks. And you see the coaches, the players are giving us comments and like little subtle jabs. Like Fournier came out and said something recently, and he said something. He's like, we have a lot of talent here. We have all the whatever it is. I really would love to find the quote.
That stuff's real. That's what I'm saying. That stuff's real. Like people take that as here and there. That's them because they can't. If you're a player in a locker room on a team, you can't go full vent mode and be like, yo, here's the deal, media.
Yo, this coach sucks.
This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He says,
this is the quote. This is the quote. I'll read it for Fournier.
Zag. That's his way of venting, but doing it politely.
I'll tell you the quote. So people, if they haven't heard yesterday, Fournier, or the other day, whatever the last game was, who cares? When I say something, I mean it. I really do believe we have the right pieces. We have talent. We have toughness. We have everything. We're not that far from playing better and getting wins. We just have to find ourselves right now. Now, Mike, how would you translate that?
I would translate that as there's something going on with the guy who's the coach.
Who's the coach and the player, Randall. That's what I'm looking at. And that's the two things that I'm looking at there, and mostly to the coach there, because he's not going to throw another player under the bus. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's because I think as much as I've given up on Randall after the thing of throwing that fan out in Miami and if that was true, and just throwing the laptop in the guy's face, like, man, come on, dude, but it's just, he with a point guard and with a coach can be dynamic. We saw that last year. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
oh, he's good. He's
such a wasted year, man.
Such a waste. Yeah. I'm just at the point now where I'm just like, I don't want it to. Like, if the Nets missed the playoffs, that would be one of the biggest disgraces in the history of sports.
They're not missing.
Well, Alex, you say that, and I think, like, from a standpoint of like this trade just helps them because Harden would quit. Now you add Simmons, Curry, and Drummond. At least you now have a roster that's not good, but can
NBA
win.
Players.
Like, they're not good. They're gonna win. They can win a game. I mean, I got to the point where I'm rooting against Washington and New York, not because I want the Knicks to lose because I dislike them, but I don't need them to catch them because I need the Nets in the play-in seeds. I'm seriously.
They need the 6th seed. You got to get the 6th seed. You don't want to be in that play-in tournament, man. You don't want to be in that. God. That's dangerous.
But who? Let's be fair too. If let's say the Nets make the playoffs and Kyrie came back and they were like the 7 seed, nobody wants to see the Nets.
Nobody.
Like they would be the worst. Draw.
The Bucks will be tanking games at the end of the year to try to avoid the 2 seed.
Right. You want to play the Hornets or you want to play the Nets in the first round with a healthy Durant, Kyrie, a motivated Simmons, and then shooters of Curry, Joe
the Bulls will be
Harris.
like, Lonzo, you're good. You're still hurt. Lonzo, you're still hurt. Just chill for another couple weeks.
I can't. Alex, I'm like, in
Or the
this
Cavs,
weird-
man. How about LeVert and Allen back together, man? How you feeling about that?
I'm happy to see them together. Two of my favorite players, but you got to move
Especially now
on.
that Harden's traded.
If you're
right?
a
Now
Nets
it's
fan and
okay.
you're
Yeah.
worried about that, like, who
Mm.
you got to move past it. You got to move past it. You got
Yeah.
to move past it. Who do we have on this podcast that said something like that? Oh my God, who was that?
It said what?
Damn, I can't
It's-
remember. Like, you
What's
can't.
the point?
You can't dwell on the point
can't
is I'm
dwell
not making one. You can't dwell on the past.
No, you can't. You can't.
I mean,
but you know
Simmons-
what?
Simmons
If you didn't
is-
make this Harden trade today, you would care more about LeVert and Allen crushing it in Cleveland.
yes,
You would care more if you were stuck with Harden and nothing was going on. But you got
Yes.
Simmons, you got hope. You're happy. You
There's
have hope.
hope.
What a fucking concept. The Knicks have no hope now. They punted on the
I heard
goddamn
a great
season.
quote
They
today.
Jeff Fiegels
Oh.
this fucking season. You know,
I
they
heard.
got rid
I
of-
heard a great quote today.
Yeah.
Action leads to hope, and today the Nets took action.
There you go. That's deep. Like every action has a reaction.
Right, like you could just pray. Like, I hope this comes better. I hope they took action today and said we're gonna make this better. I'm not sure.
Good
It will.
teams always do that, Mike. The good teams always do that. Yankees always make a move at the deadline, no matter what. They
Yes.
always go for it. And why are they in the playoffs every year for the most part for the last 20 years? Because they always try. They always try. And yes, the Knicks tried this offseason, and I will take that every time. But you know what they didn't do at this deadline? They didn't try. They
No.
gave up. They said, you know what? We're gonna stick with our guys. And they're probably trying to embarrass
Well-
Thibs, to embarrass him at the end of the year, to fire him at the end of the year.
You don't
And if
know.
that's
There's
the case, that's
gamesmanship there. It
dysfunction.
probably is. Yeah,
Dysfunction.
exactly.
Dysfunction
Watch-
function. What's
Yo-
your whatever the fuck?
Hey,
You know,
you're gonna beat the
conjunction
Warriors.
junction.
You're gonna beat the Warriors tonight.
Oh yeah, I win by 30, right? You want to bet the money line on that?
I draft bad weather fans. Bet the Knicks tonight.
DraftKings promo
What
code
did I say?
BWF.
What did I say?
Draft bet the money line. That's you
I
said it
thought-
right.
Oh,
You
I
said
said it right.
DraftKings.
Oh, okay. I thought you were correcting me that I said it wrong.
No.
Very
I said
insecure
use
about
promo code BWF if you're going to sign up for DraftKings, so you can help us keep this podcast going.
Wow.
But,
what a weird day. That's the trade. I mean, then the Nets also cut DeAndre Bembry, which was annoying because it's a cost cutting move.
But he
they
can't
had
wait to go to the
16
Knicks.
Remember, it's so funny too. Like, we were so excited. The Knicks. Okay, the first Nick game was good. That was Harden
I
had
know
one of
where
his
you're
better games. It was a great game. It was really entertaining.
Right.
The Nick game now is so different than where I
Dead.
thought we'd be.
Dead.
From that
Dead
point
game.
to now, you have this impression of, this is like, if you're a Knicks fan or you're a Nets fan, you're going, well, thank God we might have a chance to win a game.
And thank God I didn't buy tickets to that game. That's for sure, because I wouldn't want to go now. I was excited. We were talking about that one all season. We had this one circled on the calendar. We're like, oh, the week of the Super Bowl, this is gonna be great. Big Zoo was talking about going to the game too, and we're like, oh, maybe we can have fun, go to a bar. And like, I have no interest now at all. Going none, zero.
You won't even
interest.
care if you beat the Nets. It will be like,
I won't
whatever.
even care. I won't even care if they win. I don't
Right.
care that Porzingis got traded for Dinwiddie, which is hilarious. in
It's
its
just
own
the
right.
perfect trade for you. I saw that trade and went, you've got to be fucking kidding me. That
I can't even
Porzingis
be
is
happy
out.
about that, Mike. I
Yeah,
can't even
I
be
know.
happy about that. Dinwiddie's the one who trolled us when Porzingis got traded and posted that gif with the
I know.
fire. Like, everything's fine. Yeah, okay. Now look at you. But it's just, God damn, man. How did we
Yeah.
get here?
How did we get here? I think that's the theme of the episode. How did
It's
we get
definitely
here?
the title.
Just well, we did it. We made it, and that's bad weather
Yeah.
fans. We're
Yeah.
here. Did you put a poll
All right.
question out today?
I did. You want me to do the read again?
Yeah, go. Let's hear again.
A word from our sponsor. Okay.
yeah. I can give you a
DraftKings
music
Sportsbook.
bed.
Oh yeah, go sing something, or just give me a
Hmm.
acapella, not acapella. Give me like a
Nah.
beatbox.
I don't know.
That's
I
not
did
acapella.
too
That's
much
the opposite.
pressure.
Okay.
I'll
Anyway.
shut up.
DraftKings Sportsbook is officially live in New York State with mobile sports betting just in time for football playoffs. Right now, you can place a bet from anywhere in New York from DraftKings Sportsbook, including from the comfort of your couch. To add to the excitement, DraftKings is giving new customers a special offer that you don't want to miss. Bet just $5 on any playoff game and win $280 in free bets if your team is victorious. The wait is finally over. Head to DraftKings Sportsbook app now to check out all of DraftKings' great promotions and features, including same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code BWF. That's BWF for Bad Weather Fans, and get 56-1 odds on any team. Bet just $5 and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's promo code BWF this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full details. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. So yes, Mike, I did do a poll question. And guess what the poll question was about?
The Knicks trades or the lack thereof.
That is a genius guess, man. You should really get into something like lottery numbers. Anyway, that was a bad joke. So Knicks fans,
that was really
that was a
bad.
horrible joke. That was really horrible.
Like hold on, we got to do it again.
Okay.
Let's restart. Yeah. All right. Ask me the question again.
Mike, what do you think the poll question was about today?
I'm guessing the Knicks in the trade deadline.
You nailed it, buddy. You nailed it. Good job. Good guess.
God,
At
you're
Knick
smooth.
Central. What? I'm good, right?
God,
I'm good.
you're
Thanks.
smooth.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So is this haircut. Like, you like my haircut? Looks nice,
No.
right? On the YouTube page? Yeah.
Not really.
Anybody's watching on YouTube?
I don't.
So anyway, at Knick Central is my Twitter page, Alex B at Knick Central. I do a poll question every week, and I read some responses. Knicks fans, how are you feeling about the Knicks doing nothing at the trade deadline? And explain your answer. Are you happy, sad, pissed off, or indifferent? What do you think won?
Pissed off.
Pissed off won. That is true. 43.2% pissed off, 37.7% indifferent, which is surprising. 14.6% sad, and 4.5% happy. And those were Net fans that voted happy for sure.
Yeah. So happy.
We had a good amount of votes, so almost 1,000 votes. So it was
Nice.
a lot.
Very nice.
Okay, some answers. Our boy Alex Terranova, he's at Alex Terra03. I'm going to be honest. I was hopeful they'd make some moves that can help turn the season around, but them not doing anything is making me think they threw the towel in on the season. Make it make sense, bro. From one Alex to another, I cannot make it make sense, bro. I really can't. Let's see. Walt Perrin sees the future at Nicked Up Fan. I am actually not that sad about the trade deadline, but the trade deadline made me sad about the offseason. If we were trying to get off those contracts and free up rotation space for the young kids, why did we sign those contracts in the first place? What a thought. And that is very true. I can't deny what he said. Let's see. Dennis Stansfield at Dennis Ultima.
Dennis.
Not surprised, but still annoyed. This feels like they are banking on Rose to come back and give the team a boost, aka a Wilpon Mets trade deadline. Getting David Wright healthy is just like making a trade at the deadline. How can you not see that? Lucas Duda is coming back from the disabled list or the IL now. How can you not see that? That's like hitting 30 home runs at first base.
Well, getting a Kyrie back full time. A Joe Harris.
Oh, there you go. That's a big pickup, man, for you in April. Let's see. Two more. Okay. So we have Ray. He's at Short, Bald, Angry. So he's very angry, short, and bold. Good guy, though. I like him. I would be indifferent if Thibs used those. He's short, bold, and angry, but I love the guy. He's awesome. No, seriously.
Short, bald, and angry. What do you got going for you?
Well, he said, I would be indifferent if Thibs used these last 30 plus games to give the kids a look, but he won't. So it'll be the same losing nearly, every game. And let's close it out with our boy, Bobby B. Now he changed his name to Purgatory Season. He's at Rude Boy NYK. Pissed the fuck off and depressed. Leon Rose just wrote us a ticket to purgatory. We will miss the playoffs. The vets will get minutes over younger guys, even after elimination. We will drop to two to three paces in the lotto. LOL Knicks. We will draft a player that doesn't even move the needle. And then he put like a recycle emoji where it's like you're going in a circle. And then our boy Eric St. Croix commented on that with a bunch of bullseye emojis. They're both right.
Oh, that reminds me of something that he said, and people have been debating that I don't care about at all. And I am
Eric St. Croix?
No, but he was arguing something, and I don't like. I don't even care if he's right or wrong on the fact. It's just the argument. Who won the Nets Sixers trade today?
They both.
I don't
because they got rid of guys that quit.
I don't care. Like, who won the trade today? Harden and Simmons, because they're where they don't want to be.
It depends how you look at the trade.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who won the trade today? I'll let you know in June? There's no way to answer now. I don't think it's it's an unanswerable question. Like, who won the trade today? I don't know. I mean, the Sixers got a motivated James Harden, who does have a hamstring injury, by the way. The Nets got Ben Simmons, who will now return, and got shooters around it. Like, who won the trade today? I'll tell you who won the trade today. I'll let you know when Kyrie returns who won the trade today. If Kyrie returns, I
Doesn't
hate
matter.
that topic. Who won the trade today? Let's dissect the breakdown. Well, they did this and they did that. We definitely won the trade. You don't get wins in the standings for winning trades. It doesn't count like that. You get wins for winning, not for winning trades.
You sound like me 3 years ago with the Porzingis trade, 4 years ago with the Porzingis trade. Like, how are you guys telling me they won the Porzingis trade? And you know, and now they're all not deleting the tweets, but they're all acting like they didn't say it. Nobody's even saying a word about Porzingis. It's all Harden Simmons. Nobody even mentions Porzingis. Nobody.
He's not good.
I wonder why. Yeah, but you know what? It'd be nice if somebody said, you know what? I was wrong about that. Like, what a concept.
Well, of course not.
They're never gonna do that. You know, it's crazy, man. It's just I had another point. I forgot it. Doesn't matter anymore.
Sorry, I just was annoying me.
Yeah.
Like, do you think the Nets won the trade today? I don't know.
And you don't care.
Have you seen Ben Simmons play in a year? I don't know if they won the trade. Is James Harden like fat and not trying?
Well, it depends how you look at the trade. If you look at the
Yes.
Nets, if you're gonna critique the Nets for how much they gave up for Harden, they lost the trade. But if you're gonna look at from the concept of
the team,
they had a guy who didn't want to play here, and the Sixers had a guy who didn't want to play here, they won because they got an all-star for a guy that didn't want to be there anymore. Yeah, and two really good role players.
It's a great point. It's a great point. If he was done with the Nets and he was like, I can't do this. I mean, realistically, they got a decent package back.
Right.
It's
true.
But I mean, like Harden, Kyrie, and Durant, all three together, hypothetically, is the best scenario. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you can't be dwelling on the fact like, oh, you gave up LeVert and Allen and all these picks. It's like, yeah, it didn't work out. But they had to pivot. They had to pivot and they had to move. And if they win a championship, I mean, like a Nets championship now, like just to see James Harden would be, oh my God.
You got your juices flowing, man. Yeah, got your juices flowing.
Oh, to see him, like if they were to celebrate, I'd be like, oh, this is, I don't know if this is going on right now, but I have to see this. NBA TNT tonight is the draft for the All-Stars. Durant, dude, no. Who cares?
Oh, yeah.
But Durant has a pick.
Yeah.
If I'm him, I'm taking Harden with the first pick just to be fucking funny.
He should just not take him at all. They should.
Well, someone has to eventually.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's funny. You said TNT because I think the Knicks are on TNT tonight, right? Are they on TNT playing the Warriors?
I don't know. Nets Wizards with nobody playing.
Was like, oh shit, are they playing on TNT? Because that's all I need is Charles Barkley and Shaq telling me how terrible the team is. Like, no shit, this is the one game you watch a week, and now you're gonna tell me how bad.
Oh, they'll be obsessed with the Nets tonight. Don't worry.
Yeah. I don't know if it's even on TNT. I can't tell. Who cares? Anyway, you ready for the jersey number trivia?
It is not. It's Bucks Suns is on TNT. Boy, they made a mistake with that.
Bucks Suns.
We got Knicks Warriors. Are we doing jersey number trivia?
We are. Did he send you one? Did he send you one or no?
He did, but he's confusing me. I don't get this guy.
Okay, so Dolan J. Trump at Dolan_J_Trump sends us jerseys every week to guess either one, and he gives me a Nets one to read to Mike, and Mike gives me a Knicks one to read to me, and away we go. Which one do you want? You want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
It was funny. I was just looking at him. He had a tweet that annoyed me.
What else is new?
Look at this. He gave 3 things.
Your phone is blocking your face on YouTube, by the way.
No, it isn't. I'll go first. He wore number 4 from 87 to 90.
Trent Tucker? No.
He made 174 starts in the 238 games he appeared in, averaged 13 points while playing small forward.
Oh my God, I know this.
I once saw him at a Baumgart's restaurant in Englewood.
Oh, thanks. Now I know. Okay.
I think he's been on Nets jersey trivia.
Really?
He was selected by the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 86 draft after playing college ball at Richmond. He played 7 different teams, including his 16-year career: Cavs, Knicks, Hornets, Bucks, Mavs, Nuggets. Yeah, and I saw him once at Baumgart's in Englewood.
I have no idea.
And I asked for an autograph as a kid. You have no idea?
I have no idea. Johnny
Uh,
Newman?
Yep.
Yes. Pull that out of my ass.
Did you look? Did you Google it? You're like, I have.
No,
you're like,
I was
I
fotzing around
have
because I
no
saw 10%
idea.
battery on my computer, and I was like fotzing around with the cord, and then I lost my train of thought. And then
You've plugged in? Do you need to plug in?
Wait, bear with me 5 seconds. Say something.
1, 2, 3, 4,
And we're back.
5. Oh,
No,
you
we're not
said
gonna die.
5.
There we go.
You were looking it up. You're Google like, I don't know. What was that? Was
fotzing with the cord.
87? 87? Seriously. All
We
right,
got
I'm
it.
ready.
We're good. See, I can get the 80s, man. See, the 80s are a challenge for me, though. That's why I like it. It's a challenge, but I can get it. Like 70s will
I'm
be
impressed.
late 70s will be impossible. 50s is impossible.
I'm impressed. No, God, yeah. Well, Nets weren't there, so.
Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta read for you. I'm like, okay,
All right,
what's
fine.
next?
Let's move on. I don't care. Bad Weather Fans, episode 196.
All right, ready? Here we go.
Yep.
He wore number 1 during the 1993 season. His
Elliot
only
Perry.
year. Who?
Elliot Perry.
Wrong. His only
Number
year in New
what?
Jersey.
Number 1, 1993.
He doesn't say 93, 94, or 92, 93. So I'm assuming
Number
92, 93.
one. Elliot Perry was a little later, so yes.
Yes. His career lasted. His career lasted 14
Wait,
seasons.
You said Heat's career?
No, he messed up. He
Oh, okay.
misspelled.
No,
he
okay.
wrote instead of his, he wrote he because he's Dolan J. Trump. So he
Buy his
misspelled.
merch. It's great.
Yes, buy his merch. His career lasted 14 seasons and he played for 5 different teams: the Nets, Boston, Houston, New Orleans, Charlotte, and Cleveland.
Wow. Number 1.
So like the New Orleans Hornets and Charlotte Hornets.
Huh, how many games? So he barely played there.
With the Nets, he only appeared in 60 games and made 0 starts in the backcourt.
Wow.
60 is a lot though. For it's not end of the bench.
No,
guy,
so he
you
got
would think.
minutes. He got
Yeah.
minutes. 93. Shit. Okay.
I'm
Is
going to
that
read the last topic now, or hint now, and then the second to last one last. He averaged nearly 13 points and 5 assists for his career.
Wow. This is pre-Child's.
He's a known player. Like
Yeah.
when you hear him, you're gonna be like, fuck.
Yeah, no, this is why there's some.
He's
I'm
not
like,
known
okay.
for being a net, but he's known for
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Last hint, and then I'll give you one more hint because I don't think you got it. He signed with the Nets after going undrafted out of Baylor.
I don't know. That's not helping me with Baylor.
He's definitely mostly known for his time with the Hornets or the Celtics.
the Hornets or the Celtics.
Mostly Hornets, I would say. That when I see his
Hornets.
name, I think Hornets.
Man, wow, I'm really struggling here. This is bad.
I think
This
those
is one I should
Chris
get.
Paul. I think those Chris Paul New Orleans Hornets teams.
Chris Paul, 93. What do you mean?
No, not 90. No, he was on the Nets in 93. He wasn't on the Nets, the Hornets in 93.
Yeah, but Chris Paul came in the league like 10 years later.
yeah,
they
he played
connected?
14 years.
That makes sense. Man.
Think of that squad. Like David West and and
Oh man, interesting. I don't know. I'm not gonna
David
figure out.
Wesley.
Oh,
I knew you'd know because he's a guy that like people know David Wesley if you live through that era,
oh my God, that's such a bad David. I didn't know we went to Baylor. That I will say, but
Yeah,
David
yeah.
Wesley. Oh, that's such a bad job by me. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I think he's the I think he does the color analyst now for the Pelicans.
Does he? That's not surprising since he
Yeah.
spent most of his time with the Hornets. and
Oh,
all
how
that
did I
stuff.
not get that's such a bad one. Oh man, I'm like legit mad at myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll move on. Good
Hmm.
job. Buy Dolan J. Trump's
Buy his merch.
merchandise.
Buy
It's
his
so
merch.
good. I have so much of
wanna
it.
know what the
It's
Knick
really,
Starters are.
really
Do
great
we
for a
know?
Christmas gift if you want to get there in advance.
Yeah, sure.
But what was the question?
I want to know who the Knick Starters are tonight. They didn't even announce it yet. People are
Oh.
going to rip them, but they're not going to announce it on Twitter because they tweeted out 3 hours ago, focused on the task at hand with a lock emoji with like Randall, Obi, and Fournier shooting jump shots, and people just ripped them apart. in
Oh,
comments.
Here
The
it
Knicks
is.
account.
Here it
You
is.
got
This is Kevin Durant picks Rudy Gobert with his last pick over Harden, and LeBron is dying laughing. Let's hear this. Let's hear if this translates.
I'm gonna need some size. Yeah, I need some size and some defense and some interior. Yeah. Especially with Giannis and LeBron James.
Without
playing
question.
such great basketball this year. I need somebody to offset that. So
I agree.
With Rudy Gobert.
I agree.
That worked out nice.
Yeah.
So the
okay,
last pick of the
try to make it
draft
a
was-
basketball reason, right? Yeah.
So
yeah,
Harden
sure.
was the last pick, and it goes to
That's awesome.
LeBron,
That's awesome.
and LeBron is dying laughing in the background. So
See, they all know this is such a joke anyway. They don't even play anymore. They're not even gonna play are they even playing a full game anymore? Like I don't even know what they do.
well, I was
It's
just saying it's
stupid.
funny because
Yeah.
nobody took Harden. It was just draft by default and landed with LeBron. Oh, that's good.
Oh my God, he's the unathletic kid wearing jeans in gym class that gets picked last because he had to play.
Oof, good job, Durant. That relationship is fractured.
Done.
fast.
That Thunder, man. Think about the Thunder, bro. And
Oh.
Ibaka got traded today too. So all that
Yes,
old Thunder
right.
team is just
Right.
all over the place now.
Yeah, I know.
That was my squad, dude. Because my Western Conference teams were always the Sonics. You always have a team in the West that you kind of pull for a little bit. Because I loved Kemp and Peyton, and then when they moved to Oklahoma City, they got Durant and Westbrook, and I was like, whoa, let me stick with this as my West team, And then it just is all downhill.
Can I take people behind the scenes of our text exchange earlier with Serge Ibaka?
Oh, yeah. If you want to.
Are you okay with it?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. I made a mistake. It's all right.
So yeah, it's just funny. So Doc Rivers put out a statement like, "Hey, we're canceling practice today." For obvious reasons. This was before the Harden trade because there's just like, how can you have those guys in a practice and legit focus?
It was
when
after the
knowing that
flurry of trades.
Half the
though, after
roster
flurry of
could be
trades.
dealt.
Yeah, but it was after the flurry of trades in the middle of the day. So
So they
for
knew
context.
something was knew something was
Yeah.
coming. And I texted you because I'm like, this is interesting because this like just nailed the
This is
coffin.
crazy,
Trade's
yeah.
about to come. And you wrote something like, you were like, you're like,
wow,
"Oh,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
for-
wow, that's interesting because because there could be some trades today. And then you respond back with, I thought Doc Rivers was coaching the Clippers.
I just for some reason it clicked with me. So I thought we were talking about Doc Rivers. Like Ibaka was traded. We have to close practice.
I was like, why would I care about the Clippers practice? I don't care.
And like,
The
why are you
Sixers
texting me
practice.
about the Clippers practice? Like, you give a shit
Unbelievable.
about what happens with the Clippers.
So good. All right, this has
was
been
funny.
episode 100.
Thanks.
I keep want to say 193. This has been episode 103 of Bad Weather Fans. Don't forget BWF is the promo code. Head on over to DraftKings.com. Link in the show notes. That's where you can get all of the information. Sign up. Good luck on the big game. See how things go. And use our code. Have some fun with it. We really appreciate them as a sponsor. And we really appreciate you guys checking it out, man. It goes a long way in building this podcast. Subscribe, download, 5 stars, leave a comment. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, tweet us a photo of that video. That would be pretty dope. I actually want it for our social right now, Alex, and I'll tweet this out right now so then people can check it out. But no one can really see that. That's just
Don't do it that
terrible.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't look good at all.
Trying to take a selfie. I can't see it.
Yeah,
though.
I'll do it like this. How about like this? Here it is. Okay, here's Bad Weather Fans. Here's a photo of it. I'll tweet that out so people can know it's coming. But wild day with the deadline. Simmons, Harden swap. Alex, the Knicks do nothing.
Sorry for yelling. Sorry.
It's
for yelling.
okay. That's okay. It
Sorry
was
for cursing. Sorry
therapeutic.
for yelling.
Good fun.
NSFW. Yeah.
That's yeah. Well, if you're watching this at work, blast it. Be like, I'm
Yes.
sorry I can't get to you here at
The
Chipotle.
fucking Knicks.
I'm listening
the
to Bad Weather
fucking
Fans.
Knicks.
I'm sorry I can't look up that book at Barnes and Noble. I'm listening to Bad Weather Fan. I'm sorry I can't resuscitate this person and give this open heart surgery. You know why?
Jeez.
I'm listening to Bad Weather Fans. Actually,
What
if
about a
you're heart-
spreadsheet? Can we just be
you're a
like have a
heart
regular
surgeon.
non-life and death job? Like, sorry, I made a mistake on this spreadsheet and this pivot table because
No,
I'm listening to Bad
No,
Weather Fan.
surgery. There's
Somebody
surgeons
died
right
because
now.
I was listening to Bad Weather.
Imagine that. I'm sorry, ma'am. Alex was talking about Thibs and didn't
Cam
remove
Reddish,
it.
and I just got so upset about Cam Reddish not playing, and it just I couldn't bring her back. God forbid, man. God forbid. That
All
fictional
right.
character.
Well,
Yes.
let's end on that note. Bad Weather
Yes.
Fans, Ep 103. Alex,
John Stark's Petrovic episode on Home 103. There you go.
in a week from now,
Yes.
the conversation will be very different, I'm sure. But we'll get to talk about Ben Simmons.
Go Rams. Go Rams.
Go Rams. All right, Alex. I'll talk to you
Later.
later.